that gut check moment of, did I do everything I should have done? Not everything I could have done. Not everything I could have done, but everything I should have done as a supervisor, because Lord knows that there are supervisors, leaders, chiefs, retired sheriffs, people that I know, people I get a chance to speak with occasionally, people I call friends, who would tell you that there were instances where out of their 100, out of their 500, out of their 1,000 sworn folks that were working for them, there was that day back in 2005, that day back in 2015, whatever it is, where they did something god awful, and it's not about what should I have known, but what could I have known, and that's only human. But to really be able to rest your head saying, this is not something that I missed. I inspected what I expected. I was out there. I was diligent. That's the legal standard, as well as, I think, a common sense ethical standard. And this is true of plaintiffs' attorneys. Yes, I want to kind of narrow this to the legal liability framework, but I think also this is going to be in the minds of members of the public when something like this happens. Your job is to make sure that your officers are doing their job and doing it the right way, right? That's supervision. That's what your job description says. Do you just trust them to do their jobs the right way, or do you actually supervise them? How do you do that exactly? I want you to think on that. And I want you to know that the more specific and boring and mundane you get with your responses, the better. Right? So when I talk to people about this, it's not about finding some really interesting, mind-blowing way of fleshing this out. What you do want to do is make sure that you're avoiding sort of chat GPT generated answers, right? Well, I have a continuous stream of information, and my conversations are ongoing, and all the stakeholders are continuously. Okay, I need English. So what do you do? Right, this looks like, this is how often I back people up on calls for service, right? This is how often I'm out there. When people say, well, I don't have anything overly complicated, I just make sure that I get out of the office. I have out-of-office experiences. I'm out there, I'm backing my people up, right? I'm seeing what they're doing out there. I'm out there in the field. Well, shouldn't your CAD be able to measure that? Absolutely. So we go back 6 months, we go back a year, right? And we're able to pull internally and say, don't say that my client, the lieutenant I'm representing, the sergeant I'm representing, don't say that she's negligent, that she's not engaged. Not engaged, this is on a regular shift, on a regular week. This is how much time she spends engaged in the field. This is how many calls for service she responds to. This is how many times she backs up officers. Those things that are measurable, the body-worn camera audits that are measurable, and much more. We need to have an answer to this, and it doesn't have to be the same for everybody, and it's going to vary with nuts and bolts when we talk corrections, when we talk dispatch, when we talk about someone who's working the road, someone who's working in the detective bureau, but we need to have meat and potatoes, nuts and bolts responses to this. This, I think, is at the heart of the question of supervisor liability, which really is a way of saying negligence in supervision.